In the story All Creatures Great and Small, written by Ruskin, the author is humorously bringing out how a python had fallen in love with his own reflection. The story revolves around a young python which grandfather had brought from the snake charmer for 6 rupees. In the story, the elderly couple, who are narrator's grandparents, have different preferences towards exotic pets. Grandmother was intolerant towards most of the birds and animals but had no tolerance for reptiles. Even a handsome chameleon was not welcome. When grandfather brought a young python to home, it was not welcomed by the grandmother. She nearly fainted at the sight of the python and wanted grandfather to get rid of it. The grandfather locked it inside his bathroom and goes out in search of the snake charmer to return the python. But he comes back with no success. When he comes back, he finds out that the python had escaped from his bathroom through the window which was open. In spite of a hard search, they were unable to find it anywhere. When Aunt Mabel arrives at grandfather's house for a 3 week and a couple of days visit, she happens to see the python in the garden and comes screaming towards the house. She was gasping for breath, and when everyone asked her what happened, she told them that she saw a snake and the snake was staring at her from the guava tree when she was reaching for a guava. She also told that it was looking at her in a queer way and was 20 feet long. After this incident, the python began to make a series of appearances, often in unexpected places. Aunt Mabel had another fit of hysterics when she saw him, admiring her from under a cushion. She packed her bags, and this made grandmother intensify the hunt for python. Next morning, the narrator again sees the python curled up on the dressing table, gazing at his reflection in the mirror. He went for grandfather. By the time they returned, the python had moved elsewhere. A little later, he was seen in the garden again. Then he was back on the dressing table, admiring himself in the mirror. Evidently, he had become enamored with his own reflection. Grandfather observed that perhaps the attention he was receiving from everyone had made him a little conceited. He now understood the weakness of the python and set about preparing a large cage with the mirror at one end. In the cage he left a juicy chicken and various other things and fitted up the opening with the trapdoor. For a few days nothing happened, and then as the narrator was leaving for school one morning, he saw the python curled up in the cage. He had eaten everything left out for him and was relaxing in front of the mirror with something resembling a smile on his face. So the narrator lowered the trapdoor gently, but the python took no notice as he had in raptures over his handsome reflection. Grandfather and gardener put the cage in the pony trap and made a journey to the other side of the riverbed. They left the cage in the jungle with the trapdoor open. Grandfather later told that the python made no attempt to get out, and even he didn't have the heart to take the mirror away. He remarked that it was for the first time he had seen a snake fall in love with its own reflection.